Alright, gamers, there have been a lot of issues that have been fixed inside Geometry Dash, but there are a lot of things that were not fixed in the update, and today I'm going to be talking about these things that haven't been fixed, or, things that we would like to have in the game that are not hard to add. I've asked you guys in my previous video about things that you would like to have inside Geometry Dash, something like a little small feature that Robtop could add before he adds 2.21 as a major update. So, let's start off with a very simple thing. Let's start off with a bunch of bug fixes, I would say. So if you move on to the editor and we place down a bunch of things in here, we can see that if you go on to show hitboxes, you're gonna see the hitboxes, right? You can see here this saw blade has a hitbox. However, if you go on to this monster, for example, he doesn't have a hitbox. This guy does have, this guy does have, and this guy does not have a hitbox. So I know that the hitbox for these two guys are like circles, just like the saw blades, even for this one, yeah, believe it or not. But yeah, this is something that definitely should be fixed. I don't think this is hard. I think it's just a little bit of problem with coding and stuff like that. And the second thing that we definitely need is, this is probably the thing that I would set the full priority on. I want to have full screen, windowed option. I really want to, because like right now I'm recording a video and I have to go to windowed so that the screen doesn't go to black every time I tab out or stuff like that. So that is basically like, it's just like if you're playing on windowed, but the screen is like taken, the window is like basically as big as your monitor, so you can't like click off here or stuff like that. And the difference is that it's just like windowed. If I click on my second monitor, you see how everything, you didn't even realize anything, and that's because it's on windowed. So windowed full screen would be very cool to have, and I know it might take a little bit of time to implement, but yeah, I just would really like to have that feature. And another thing is, I'm just gonna go over like all of the bugs. There's really no certain ordered categories that I have. Like it's really just random stuff thrown out, and I just have like a text where I wrote down all of these bugs. And one of them is another bug that's in the editor, is that you know how you can if you start a level, you can set the song to be either a main level song, a custom song from the music library, or from Newgrounds, and you can change the song mid-level, as you guys know. But if you want to change the song mid-level, you can only choose these guys. So you can't choose a main level song, which I personally would really need to recreate Theory of Everything 2 in 2.2. And yeah, this doesn't exist, so I don't know what to do. I think it just should have like existed in here like as a new button. Or perhaps I think another thing that would be cool is to just yoink this exact thingy in here where select song, normal and custom. So if you click here, you have like stereo magnets, and then you can like scroll, and up there is the normal custom where you can, it's just basically the same thing. Perhaps here don't have this guy, another thing. But yeah, overall I don't think this should be like, I don't think this should take more than 10 minutes to implement, to be honest. So another thing is, you know how there are sound effects in GD 2.2, probably the worst feature to be added to 2.2, but I think it would be very cool if we could have access to the sound effects of the game itself. You know how when you die, for example, there's this like boom sound effect, and when you open a chest, there's this like, chest opening type of stuff, and when you complete a level and stuff like that. So I would love to have like a folder, Geometry Dash, where all these sound effects exist, because they are already in the game files. So I think the formatting may be a little bit different than the ones that we use in here, but overall I don't think this should be that hard to add. He can literally just download the files and put them on the servers, and then we could just click this and then we have them. We literally don't even need an update for this. I'm also really excited for when he's gonna add more sound effects, because right now I feel like if I, for example, portal, if I want to make like a cool looking portal, I only have these guys, and all of them are just like people talking and just voices stuff, but I want like ambience type of things. And yeah, I think Robtop said he has like 500,000 sound effects, so that's kind of crazy. We only have 13,000 right now, and yeah, I'm really excited for more sound effects overall. And another thing that we definitely, I don't think you guys need it, but I definitely need it. This is something that I really need for the Holo Dungeon Part 2. It's really necessary. And it's, you know how the area move basically does stuff according to how certain objects are distanced from each other, and the rotate rotates them, the area rotates them depending on how far they are, the scale scales them, the fade fades them, the tint colors them. And we need another one that's for toggling them. This is really important, because if I don't want to spoil too much about that part in Holo Dungeon Part 2, because it's a very cool and unique part that I would want to leak. So if you place down in here, you can, I think for area toggle, it should be very easy to implement also, because you wouldn't need these two options. You wouldn't need relative. You wouldn't need this one. You wouldn't need any of these guys. You would need length, offset, no easings. You would need offset Y and these three things, and that's it. You would have to remove all of these guys basically, and we also don't need any easings, because toggling doesn't make any sense with easing, because it's either on or off, and there's no like move time. You can just set if it's on or off, and this is really needed. Just like any other area trigger works, just have a area toggle basically, which just toggles things if they are close to an object. You can also then set the randomness of the length, and you guys should know what that is if you guys have watched my tutorial about the area trigger. And yeah, and now let's just move on. Let's just move away from the editor to another small bug fix that we would like to have, and it's not, I don't know why this one is here. Just remove this button, please. I don't know, like why. Like you can like have like a auto clicker type of thing, where if you click like very late, the number decreases. So you gotta be a real epic gamer and spam really fast. Is this like a custom game inside GD or something? I don't really know, but yeah, this is a small bug fix. And another thing that oh my god, this is something that I would like to have right now. Like jokes aside, I want to have it, and it's to have orbs for platformer. You see how every level gives you, for example, this one gives you 175 orbs, and for example, I play like random platformer levels every now and then, and they are very cool. However, sometimes I just have to go, or I feel like the level is way too hard. So what I would do is just leave. And the unfortunate thing about it is that even if you got very far into the level and die, you will get nothing for it. Literally nothing, absolutely zero. And I think it would just make way more sense to give orbs instead, because I mean, levels that have stars already give you orbs. So it's quite insane that if you beat a demon, for example, you would literally have to, if you want to get like the 500 orbs, the only way to do it is just by completing the level. There's no like progression, what do you call it? Progression rewards, let's call it that. And yeah, I would honestly really have that, because I sometimes really like just playing normal levels to complete quests, like orbs for quests. And yeah, it would be cooler to do that in platformer mode. And also, if we have done something really, if we like somehow give up on a level, we should have the opportunity to just get a reward for it basically. I don't know, however, the thing is, I have talked about this with many other people, and they have said that how are you going to implement that in the platform mode? Because normally in normal mode, what you would have is basically just, you know how in normal mode there are percentages, and you would basically just calculate the amount of orbs that you get depending on how far you are in the level, on how far you are in the percentage basically. But in platformer mode, there is no percentage, there is no nothing. So I have two suggestions for how this can be handled. However, I don't think that any of them is that good of a suggestion. However, I'm just gonna throw it out there. Maybe it's good, I don't really know. So the first one is to basically divide the amount of orbs by the amount of checkpoints that there are. For example, if a level has 3 checkpoints and it gives you, let's say, 300 orbs, then for every checkpoint that you get and then you die, you will get 100 orbs. That's basically like a new best. And then it could also show here that your new best is you went to the 3rd checkpoint or the 1st checkpoint or something like that. So that's the first thing, is to just divide things by the checkpoints. However, I can see this being an issue for demons, because demons sometimes just don't have any checkpoints, and it would basically be the exact same thing. So yeah, that's the first suggestion. And the second one is to have something a little bit more player or creator based, give them a little bit more freedom, and it's to basically have objects inside the level editor that allow you to set how far you are into the level. I'm gonna show you what that means in a bit, but I just want to complete this level because yeah, now I can't quit, because if I quit I will not get anything, and that wouldn't be really that cool. So I'm just gonna try my best and complete this. Okay, I'm done. So the way to have these guys is, for example, let's say I have, where is it? Let's say I have my own level, Holo Dungeon, and let's say I remove all the hitboxes, of course, and I would basically put triggers in here that was maybe like called orb or something like that, and I would put it in here as a touch trigger, and then once you enter that, you basically get like 10 orbs, or you could maybe place them all, and then the end rating would basically depend on how many there are. So basically like checkpoint checkpoints, but these are things that you cannot see in case levels don't have any checkpoints or have very few ones, so that you still get a reward for it. However, this could be a little bit annoying because creators may just not know that these triggers exist, so as a result people just wouldn't get any rewards for it even though it was promised. So yeah, I do see a bunch of issues with these things, but you can basically like place them down here, and every time the player touches it, it basically counts as progression points, and then that would determine how many orbs you will get after you die. So that's something that I really want to have inside the game so that I don't waste my time after, you know, giving up. And okay, let's now move on to the next thing, which is very simple. It's, you know how the trails have these guys where if you select something, there are these lines around them, this border that shows you which one you are selecting. And I would like to have this for this one also, because I initially didn't know when this was active. I thought if you click it like that, then it's selected, you know, but now this is how you select it. And also these guys, what the heck is this? Yeah, now they are not here anymore. So I guess if you go on here, yeah. So yeah, that's just a small bug. And if you guys didn't know, you can go to the settings and enable an option which is called enable quick keys. This one, what it does is if you're playing and you click R on your keyboard, this is only for PC, it resets the level. However, if you are on a platformer level, this is also very useful for platformer speedrun, where people can just click Ctrl R instead of having to reset the level and, you know, wait themselves. Look at this. So if I die now, I restart from here. However, if I click Ctrl R, I will just restart from the beginning. And another thing that I would like to have in here is to maybe enable the option to display a warning like this one. So if you click Ctrl R, it displays a warning. Are you sure you want to? However, this could be kind of stupid because it's literally called quick keys. But I have once I've once reached the last level in a demon in platform mode. There was like a bunch of levels and I reached the last one and I accidentally clicked Ctrl R and I had to restart everything. So yeah, I don't know if this is something that's even cool now that I really talk about it, because it's quick keys and it shouldn't really display anything. So yeah, that's the bug. And also another thing, in case you guys didn't know, if this is not a bug really, this is just something that has been added new that I didn't talk about in my previous videos in 2.201, and it's that all of the 2.2 levels they can be copied without a password. All of the new uploaded levels are not going to have any passwords, so you can copy any of the new levels. And RobTub said that this is a good option to have because yeah, there are a lot of hacks out there, but I want to talk about this probably in another video where I discuss if this is even a good idea or not, because people say that everyone uses mega hack, but if you didn't know, the majority of players play on mobile, and the majority of players don't spend money online. So I would say rather more than probably 60% don't even know what hacks are and usually don't have this free copy thingy. But yeah, I'm just gonna go over this in a different video because it's a long topic. So yeah, another thing inside the editor that I didn't mention in my previous video is that, you know how there's this portal, and I said there are no borders. However, if you click on edit object preview, you can see the borders are here back again. And yeah, this was brought up by Boxy Cat, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, the next thing is very annoying. It's very annoying, and I think it's very easy to fix also. And it's, you know how in platformer mode, if you are a ship, for example, and you see how if you click on here, there are these buttons in here usually, and when I play, I have lock cursor on, so my cursor should be locked. However, sometimes you see, now I'm moving to the left. Now I'm only clicking on my mouse. I'm just moving my mouse around because sometimes I do so, and it's very annoying that sometimes while you are playing, your mouse gets on these buttons and it clicks them and it kind of resets your jump. Many people don't know why this was happening, but this is why. It's because your cursor is on the buttons and everything gets reset as if you basically clicked D. And yeah, the fix for this is just to have the cursor locked in the center of the screen, which I think it does, but it doesn't really work that well. And another thing that is in the editor also is if you go on to full screen mode. This is very annoying in the editor, and it's if you have, for example, a level that has a bunch of sound effects in them. This one, for example, let's choose a random sound effect. I don't know. Let's choose this one. This is very random. random. And let's say this is full volume and also like that. And then let's say I'm like building, I'm inside the editor, and then I click on my second monitor and now it's black for you, I think. Yes. And now I'm tabbing out. And now if I come again, and I'm just going to wait for it, boom. And now if I click on here, you're going to see that nothing is going to happen. And this is because I tabbed out the game and then came again. And what, bro, my game literally just crashed. Are you kidding me? You have to be, oh my God. I don't know why, but also the editor crashes a lot, like a lot. And it's quite crazy. If you go like a little bit crazy with the shaders and the area trigger, things just don't work anymore. And what I was about to show you guys is that the sound effect doesn't play if you exit out of the window, if you are on windowed, if you are on full screen, I mean. And this usually happens when I'm like building really fast and I want to click on here to maybe align X or something. Then I accidentally click outside of this window. And then what happens is that basically I have to play and then go back into the editor so that the sound effects work again. Yep. And yeah, this is just a bug. I don't know why it happens, but it would be very cool to have this fixed also. And another thing to do is, for example, if you have lock cursor already on, this would also be enabled in the editor so that this basically doesn't happen when you click out the editor, which is why I think the full screen windowed fixes so many problems. I think just having full screen windowed would just get rid of all these problems by just having the window of the game exactly as big as your screen, which is very cool. Okay, another thing. We need this. So, you know how if you have like let's say we have a gradient trigger, which is I'm gonna explain in the next tutorial video. Let's say we have something like this. Okay, this is just an area and a gradient trigger, and you can say in here, okay, you trigger on the background only, and if you play, you will see that nothing is being triggered other than the background. We can like place in a bunch of blocks, and you can see that the effect is only on the background. However, if you click on it and say max, this is gonna be for everything. You see how your cube, the blocks, everything is basically gradient now. However, if you go on to player only, now I have only the player. Look at this. The player is highlighted, the background also, but not the blocks. And I don't want the background to be highlighted in the first place. I only want the player. And also, if you have these ones on T1, you would do T1, and now you would expect them to only apply on the blocks, but they just apply on everything. It's just like if you use max. I don't know why this is happening. It's probably similar to these guys where you have P and stuff like that. And I think at some point these guys also didn't work, but now we have the gradient, which doesn't work. We really need this. What is going on? Yeah, that's something. And another thing is I think something like this is probably going to take a little bit of time. And I don't even know, is it even fixed yet? It's not fixed. Okay, so the search filters. We definitely need better search filters. Like, what the heck is this? Like, if you search for legendary, it just not this. These two buttons are basically useless. They don't do anything at all. And yeah, we definitely need these working. And another thing that I really want to have is an option in here to display on which update this level was made. I think something like this is very easy to code also, because the servers already store on which update certain levels were uploaded. So I really want this, because sometimes I search for swing copter challenge and I play a level that is just basically from 2019 or something, where they use the ball as the swing copter, but I really want to have the official swing copter, so I would just go to dash and search for swing copter levels. But yeah, we really need like an update on which update certain levels came out, and overall just rework this whole thing, because server wise they just don't really work. I would like to browse all of the legendary levels. I know there are only 2 or something, but yeah, this definitely needs to work. And another simple thing to be fixed is, this is probably like the easiest thing ever. I bet he could do a speed run of 2 seconds. And it's, if you go on to the edit item, you can see that there is item timer points time attempts, and down there's the same. However, if you go on to the item compare, you can see that there's time and then time again, but this one means attempts. You can see here it means attempts, but in item edit it says attempts, but in item compare it just says time again. So yeah, this is a very simple fix. Just thought I would bring it up also. And the last thing, I think this is the last, let me see, there's I think one more after that, and it's to have have numbers on the triggers. You know how if you have a move trigger, you set it to group 100, it displays 100. We need this for the area trigger. We need, like, you know, I think the random trigger does it perfectly. If you have a random trigger, you set group 100 or 200, you can see the numbers here. You can see 100 and 200. I would love to have the target group ID and the center group ID displayed in here, maybe on top of each other or something like that. And for the advanced random, I don't think we need a number because sometimes there are way too many numbers. And just overall, for every single trigger, just add numbers. Just like the move. I think this is something that Robtop wanted to do but didn't have time for. And the arrow trigger also on which channel it is, in case it has a channel edge, you know, the rotate. I mean, I don't think this is even that hard to add, but yeah, I don't really know. I would just really love to have them on the area triggers specifically. And the shaders could also have, maybe, I don't really know, you guys decide. And the last thing is probably something for later. It's not really a bug fix or a small feature, and it's to have the ability to trade diamonds for orbs, because I don't like diamonds. I don't like grinding diamonds, because diamonds, they don't serve a purpose. The only purpose they have is in here, but I don't find any of these icons interesting in here. I find some of them cool, but I can't see myself basically using them, you know? So yeah, the diamonds for me basically serve zero purpose. Like, I sometimes open a chest and there's diamonds in there and I get really upset. So it would be cool if there's like a maybe 4th or 5th shop at this point that trades diamonds with orbs or stuff like that, like basically trading. I don't know if this would even be a cool idea. I just thought I would throw it out there. And the last thing is probably also easy to add, is to have an icon kit in here. You know how if you are playing a level in here, we have this icon thing, and I would really love to have it inside the game editor in here where there's this guy, because sometimes I test with different colors. Because for example, in Hollow Dungeon, you can see the particles are all purple and stuff like that. And if you change the color for, let's say, green, let's say I'm green now, and now you can see everything is green. So I would like to test all of this without having to exit like 1,000 menus. And yeah, I think this is everything for today. Yeah, a bunch of bug fixes that needed to be fixed, a bunch of new features that I really wanted to have in game. So yeah, I think we're gonna receive another update, which is why we have not seen a update coming for mobile. And it's because Robtop has himself said that he's gonna work a lot on the bug fixing, make sure that the update is actually playable and doesn't have a lot of bugs in it. And then he could, you know, publish that to Google Play and other players, because he doesn't want to update way too many times. And yeah, I think this is it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you have more bugs that you would like me to talk about, just throw them down in the comments and we could discuss them also. This video was quite long, but I just wanted to, you know, at this point, I don't really care about how long my videos are. I just want to talk and just say everything. I could have probably just split this video around 2 videos, but yeah, here we are at the end of the video. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.